Good evening, everybody. Thank you for watching. My name is Bradley Shaw, and tonight I'm talking to author of Pete Alistair. I better make sure I get the right title because I've got Billy Can and the Two Tales of Crocodiles, but we changed it. It's just Peter Billican now, isn't it?
It's Billy.
Yeah.
It was Peter Billican's Tale of Two Crocodiles. Now it's just Billy Can's Tale of Two Crocodiles.
Billy Can's Tales of Two Crocodiles. Sorry, I haven't got it open in front of me, so I just went to my old habit of that's how I refer to it, Peter Billican.
Yeah.
So Billy Can's Tale of Two Crocodiles.
Yeah.
And it's Alistair Perry.
Yep.
Yep. Just checking. Good. I'll make sure I don't say it wrong. There's nothing worse than saying an author's name wrong. Billy Can's Tale of Two Crocodiles.
Yeah, it's on the computer.
Hang on.
and I don't know who changed it, wasn't me.
It's all good. This is the fun of it. I know we changed the name between it. So.
Yeah.
All right. So the cover says, which we've approved, Billy Can's Tale of Two Crocodiles. Done. Okay.
Got it. Yep.
Sorry, mate. Just make sure I get it right.
That's right.
Okay, let's start that again. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Between the Covers. My name is Bradley Shaw, and tonight I'm talking to author Alistair Perry about his book, Billy Can and the Tale of Two Crocodiles. Good evening, Alistair. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Bradley.
That's good. And tell everybody watching, what do we expect with Billy Can's and the Tale of Two Crocodiles, this wonderful children's book that you've created?
Well, I guess you're getting a fairly gritty tale of children growing up in the time when I grew up, because basically I realised that my grandkids' life they lead now was nothing like what we grew up as kids. So it gives an outline of what we did when we grew up. Yep. It's got an environmental story there about local destruction of wetlands and some family history. So good. It's got a lot of stuff rolled in.
Yeah. And Alistair, did you find like when you grew up in the 1700s that it was different to this book now? That wasn't true, Alistair. Okay, he's not that old, everybody watching. He's not from the 1700s, but he is an older, wiser gentleman who has had a different generation to what we have now. So yes, sorry, Alistair, I was being a bit cheeky. So
no, that's fine. I didn't pick up the word. You go.
So tell us about the book. Like, was it intentionally written to really culturally create and understand and educate children into the zones and styles that you created in the story?
Well, it is. It's sort of intended to sort of let children know that life in Melbourne, and I guess Australia generally, back in the 1950s and 60s was quite different from what it is now. Yeah. And we sort of, as kids, we used to roam quite freely, and we got up to all sorts of escapades and things that these days people might look on as being perhaps somewhat gritty. Yeah. But it's what we did as kids.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was. We were very adventurous. Huckle Finn was our icons and the styles of those stories.
Yeah, something along those lines.
But a lot of that flavour, a lot of that Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer feel, where the kids get into a boat and they triffle off into an adventure, and it crosses paths into the Indigenous. Was that intentional as well to cross-reference that inclusion?
Yeah, that was quite intentional. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's beautifully done and written the way you've done it. So this is the re-release of this book. It's been out previously. So can I ask, have you had any feedback from readers previously? Have you had any feedback on the book itself? How have you found that?
Well, it's gone out to quite a few people, particularly younger people, and the feedback's all been good. Yeah. Particularly one of my granddaughters who just reads all the time, and she said, she loved it. So good. I thought, well, that's a pretty good wrap up. which is
That's
pretty
good.
honest.
Yeah. So was this your first book that you wrote, or have you written before, or?
No, this is my first book, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a follow-on.
Oh, sorry.
I've been picking away at it for a while, I suppose, the best way of describing it, probably 12 months.
Yep.
And there's a follow-on book which is finished now, so...
Oh, good,
you know,
good.
The adventures will continue on.
Everybody watching, there is a sequel coming, so if you get this book and you want to know more, there's always good news. So when you wrote this book, was it something you did later in life? Like you always had the idea, but you never sat to write it, or you were always busy, or what really would you feel that you were ready to write this book?
Well, I was probably busy is probably the best description. And, you know, since I've retired, I've had more time.
Yeah.
You know, particularly some of the environmental destruction, which we saw as kids in the local area, has always sort of bothered me. I thought, I'll write a book about that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's funny, I watched David Attenborough's special. I don't know if you've seen that yet, the one where he's retiring, basically. He's just saying like the last 50 years of his life and how he summarizes his whole life journey in the sense that he saw, I think, 15 or something extinctions of animals. He saw reconstructions and destructions of countries and lands, you know, just through his own, from when he started in the 50s right through till now, how he has watched the world basically just destroying itself.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not in the same area as David Attenborough, but I have, you know, seen so much destruction over the years in Australia. Yeah. It's just, just appalling.
Yeah, I wouldn't underestimate that too, that David Attenborough, like, I mean, yes, profile-wise, yes, he's well-established and known, but your book is still influential in the sense that its themes are very current. The kids need to understand that what we have is fragile, and I think you express that really well and beautifully in the book, and present it well to them to enjoy. So
yeah, well, I'm glad you think that, because that's what I intended.
Oh no, we're very proud to be you know, republishing it with you and to share the journey to recreate a new audience, and I think we'll get that part of it established well. So when you were writing, so your intent was to make this message that clear and that designed for that children's purpose of
yes, it was, but my sort of method as working is that you know, I don't sit down and write out a whole plan. You know, things just develop as you go along, and you know, ideas come back, and you remember things that you've forgotten, and you put them in. So it's a matter of sort of, you know, adding one block to another and keeping on going from there.
Yeah. Now you're educated in the legal profession, is that correct?
Yep.
Yep. Was it difficult to shift the styles that you would have created, very arbitrary, very black and whitey style of writing, to fiction, to really start to create and design those pictures and imageries? Did you find that a difficult transition of your habitual writing styles?
Well, the answer to that is yes. I guess
it's a different way.
But you know, when I retired, I sort of kept on looking at, like, you know, you look at a situation and you think like a lawyer, and I thought, you know, that's just. It took a long time to get rid of that method of thinking, and then I think the book's shown that method's now gone. Thank goodness. Yeah.
No, like I said, it's a very well written children's book, which is what I'm saying. I was wondering, was that a challenge to transition yourself from your ingrained, I guess, style of life and then into children's books? And as you say, there's more now, so you've obviously adapted that style. Yep. Sorry.
I'd got rid of that ingrained method of thinking before I started writing the book.
Yeah, good. Did you set time aside? Did you set a discipline and a habitual routine to get that writing done, or did you just?
I'm embarrassed to say that I probably undisciplined. I'd sort of just fit it in when I got time.
So let me get this straight. You didn't have a plan. You didn't set any time or management aside, and you came out with probably one of the best, I think, children's Australian books I've seen in a long time. There you go, people. That's the secret to writing a really great book. Don't plan it. Don't make time for it. Just let it happen. That's Alistair's trick.
Well, that's more or less how it did. So I guess I won't get a job as a management consultant, but you know.
Yeah, so Alice is running classes on how to write a children's book soon. So, watch out for that. I'm teasing you. So
No, it's okay. You're down in the local park occasionally,
yeah. So what did you enjoy most about the writing process for you? Like, what was the fun part?
Bit hard to say. I mean, I wouldn't have written if I didn't enjoy it. That's the first point. But I like sort of bringing back sort of memories of things that I'd seen or done, or during my lifetime, and then putting a twist on it. I just enjoyed the process in that sense. Yeah.
So writing a children's book, being older, did you find a bit of a childish flair, a bit of fun in yourself, a bit of chuckle as you were writing some of these adventures?
Yeah, I did. You sort of think back sometimes to what it was like, and things you could have done and things you did do, and sometimes you'd rather remember them. But yeah.
And did you develop any little habits, little quirks, I guess you call them? Did you find yourself like you felt more comfortable writing in certain parts of the day, or in certain clothing, or listening to certain music, or was there a little habitual quirk that you developed where you wrote?
No, I don't. I don't think I've got any habits as you're trying to describe. I think I'd be terrible to sort of tell someone how to write, because all I could say is, look, I just stuffed around and eventually got there. But no, I go into
there goes my next question. That was my next question. What would you tell a new writer how they would write? And you would tell them just stuff around and you'd be right.
Yeah. Well, probably that's right. And, I sort of things I go into the Melbourne City Library when it's open, out of this COVID situation, and write there for a couple of hours a day, and, various places, sometimes in the boat. Yeah.
Now, explain the cover to us. Like, you've got two crocodiles fighting. What are they fighting over exactly?
Well, you've got to read the story, but it's a I suppose a husband and wife crocodile.
Yeah.
And she's sort of beating him, sort of browbeating him because he's made a few bad comments, and he's sort of getting beaten up. So that's what's happening on the cover.
Oh, okay. So these crocodiles are part of the story in the sense that the children's adventures evolve around the tale of two crocodiles, I guess. Is that?
Yeah, well, the story starts out with the crocodiles and the children going on an underground river with an adventure, and sort of meeting the crocodiles in the swamp, and the crocodiles let them get on their backs and take them, down to the bay, and it goes on from there.
Well, as crocodiles do.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you started this book, like you said, your granddaughter loved it and stuff, and did you see it as becoming a published book, or was it just a journey? You just started writing for the fun of it, or how did you feel, and what was your plan when you started this exercise?
Well, I just started writing, and I didn't really have any particular plan to publish it, but I guess, one thing led to another, and it kept on going. I thought, I better do something about trying to publish it. So nothing more coherent than that.
Did you find it challenging to get into publishing, to understand the process and step through that door? Like, writing a book is one thing, and setting yourself up in the story, but to take it to that next level, how did you find that publishing process?
Well, I actually found, to go back, I found the girl that did your editing for the book was excellent, and that was really good. I won't comment on the previous book. And I'd actually been out myself to probably most of the bookstores in Melbourne, Dymocks and Readings and
Sorry. Yep.
And I think I worked out pretty well how the market worked. And the reason I came to your company was the fact that I thought your marketing ability was really good. Plus editing and things like that. So.
Well, that's right. We're partnering with you in it, so I'm really happy about that. I love that we're sharing this journey and creating the experience with you for the kids to enjoy further. So, what's coming up for you in the future? You mentioned earlier there was a sequel. Is this a journey you're planning to continue writing into children's books?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if it's sort of successful in the marketplace, well then why not?
Absolutely.
Plenty of stories.
You've got a great talent for it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But I'm glad you think that way. That's great.
So just one question to the readers watching this video and going to buy the book. What do you hope they experience? What do you hope they really get out of it? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I hope that children think, look, there's another perspective to what you can do as you're growing up. Mm-hmm. You don't have to, stick around your computer all day. You can get out and do things. Yep. Make them aware of issues with the environment, with issues with the Aboriginal people, yep. Things along those lines. Yeah,
good. Well, that's good. And everybody watching, please do grab a copy of this book, Billy Cairns and the Tale of Two Crocodiles. Go to your local bookstore. It is available everywhere books are sold. Ask them for it, because it is a very good book, and we want to share the news, but we also want to support local bookstores. You can buy it online as well, anywhere that books are sold. But Alistair has done a wonderful job doing this fantastic story of adventures. Now, one thing I will mention too to everyone watching, but also to you, Alistair, if I may, is that when you go to our website and when you buy it at the independent bookstore or at Shoreline Publishing Group website, you actually will receive in the parcel one of these beautifully handcrafted crocodiles and people hanging on to this. This is what Alistair made to go with his book. So basically you're going to have this little, what do you call this, Alistair? A mural? You put it together.
It's a little crocodile, little model, I suppose.
The model. So it comes flat packed and you unclip it and you put it all together, and the kids can paint it or they can leave it as it is. So this will be included with your purchase of the book. So I do mention it because it's such a beautifully crafted, such a little piece of personal touch that the author, Alistair, has made for his own book. So please, if you do order on our website, you will get a copy you will get one of these sent to you with the book. So Alistair, thank you for your time tonight. It's been wonderful talking to you. And we're so excited about the book coming out and about getting everything, happening for you, for more children to enjoy. So any last comments for readers to know about the book, or anything you'd like to say to them?
No, just go ahead, buy it and enjoy it.
So it's simple. There's no mucking around there. That's it. So go and enjoy it and buy it. Okay, mate. Yeah. Thank you so much for that tonight. And thank you everyone for watching and sharing in this wonderful journey. We look forward to it. So thank you again. Have a good night. Good night, Alistair.
Okay. Thanks. Do you want to tell you a quick anecdote?
You can tell me a quick anecdote. Okay, people, we're not hanging up. What would you like to tell me, Alistair?
Oh, I hope this isn't broadcast. David Attenborough was on TV a few years back, and he said, the first person I interviewed on television was Gordon Perry, who's my cousin, which was about 60 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you are related to there is association through that, through the chain.
Yeah, and he said Gordon sat there and wouldn't say anything. So.
Oh no, well, that's a hard interview. Gosh.
I'm a bit reticent. It's probably a family trait.
Oh no, you've been wonderful. Thank you for talking with us. It's been awesome. Okay. So yeah, and that's nice to know. Maybe we'll send David a copy just to make sure, see if he remembers the name.
He won't remember it. Okay, is that it?
Thank you, Alistair. Yes, have a great night. And thank you everyone for watching, and take care. Now.